State of Illinois Sexual Harassment Prevention Training.
Sexual harassment is prohibited in Illinois. The Illinois Human Rights Act makes it a civil rights violation for any employer, employee, agent of any employer, employment agency or labor organization to engage in sexual harassment. The Illinois General Assembly finds that tolerance of sexual harassment has a detrimental influence in workplaces by creating a hostile environment for employees, reducing productivity, and increasing legal liability. The state of Illinois encourages employers to adopt and actively implement policies to ensure their workplaces are safe for employees to report concerns about sexual harassment without fear of retaliation, loss of status, or loss of promotional opportunities. Employers required to provide sexual harassment prevention training for all employees. Every employer in the state of Illinois is required to provide employees with sexual harassment prevention training that complies with Section 109 of the Illinois Human Rights Act. All employees regardless of their status, i.e. short-term, part-time, or intern, must be trained. If an employer has an independent contractor working on-site with the employer's staff, the independent contractor should receive sexual harassment prevention training.
What information will be covered? 1. An explanation of sexual harassment consistent with the Illinois Human Rights Act. 2. Examples of conduct that may constitute unlawful sexual harassment. 3. A summary of federal and state statutory laws concerning sexual harassment including remedies available to victims, and 4. A summary of employer responsibilities in the prevention, investigation, and corrective measures of sexual harassment.
What is sexual harassment? Under the Illinois Human Rights Act, sexual harassment means any unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or any conduct of a sexual nature when submission to such conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of an individual's employment. Submission to or rejection of such conduct by an individual is used as the basis for employment decisions affecting such individual, or such conduct has the purpose or effect of substantially interfering with an individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile or offensive working environment. Types of unlawful sexual harassment. 1. Quid pro quo sexual harassment. You do something for me, and I'll do something for you. This means that a manager or supervisor may not tell an employee that in order to receive a promotion, raise, preferred assignment, or other type of job benefit, or to avoid something negative like discipline or an unpleasant assignment, the employee must do something sexual in return. 2. Hostile work environment sexual harassment. The air at work is full of sexual references and it is impacting me. A hostile work environment may occur when unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or any conduct of a sexual nature has the purpose or effect of substantially interfering with an individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile or offensive working environment. Unwelcome behavior. Sexual conduct becomes sexual harassment when the behavior is unwelcome. Behavior may be unwelcome in the sense that the victim did not solicit or invite it, or in the sense that the victim regarded the conduct as undesirable or offensive. Welcome behavior can quickly become unwelcome behavior. What starts off as welcome behavior, consensual joking, can cross a line and become unwelcome behavior. Also, consent can be revoked at any time. When someone experiencing sexual harassment behavior says, "Stop talking to me like this, it must stop," the perpetrator cannot use as a defense, "Well, you started it," or "You were okay with it at first." Working environment and non-employees. An employee's working environment is not limited to the physical location where the employee is assigned. The working environment extends to other work sites including off-site, mobile or moving work sites/locations. The prohibition that supervisors and co-workers not engage in sexual harassment now applies to non-employees such as patrons, vendors, and service providers. Non-employees can be victims of sexual harassment and are perpetrators of sexual harassment. Gender identity, sexual orientation and third parties, bystanders. All persons can be victims of sexual harassment regardless of the victim's gender identity or the perpetrator's gender identity. All persons can be victims of sexual harassment regardless of the victim's sexual orientation or the perpetrator's sexual orientation. Victims of sexual harassment can include not only the target of the sexual harassment, but also third parties or bystanders.
Section 2. Examples of conduct that may constitute unlawful sexual harassment. 2. What are examples of inappropriate conduct? Sexual harassment includes unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature, sexual advances and requests for sexual favors. Examples include pressure for sexual favors or to go out on a date, deliberate touching, leaning over, or cornering another person, sexual looks or gestures or whistling at someone, sending letters, telephone calls, emails, texts, or other materials of a sexual nature, sexual teasing, jokes, remarks, or questions, referring to another as a girl, hunk, doll, babe, honey, tootsie, etc. Actual or attempted rape or sexual assault. Continued examples of inappropriate conduct. More examples of conduct that may constitute sexual harassment include turning work discussions to sexual topics, asking about sexual fantasies, preferences, or history, sexual comments, sexual innuendos, or sexual stories, sexual comments about a person's clothing, body, or looks, kissing sounds, howling and smacking lips, telling lies or spreading rumors about a person's sex life, massaging neck, shoulders, etc. Touching another employee such as their clothing, hair, or body. Sexual harassment in an online environment. Our conduct online and through social media can constitute sexual harassment even when it occurs off the clock, off-site, or even out of state. Online sexual harassment includes using email, cell phone texts, internet posting, online comments, blog posts, and social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat, to send communications of a sexual nature. Examples include flirting and requests or demands to go on a date or have sex, sending inappropriate pictures or videos including sexually graphic material, using sexual language or comments including sexually offensive language, cyberstalking. Section 3. A summary of federal and state statutory laws concerning sexual harassment including remedies available to victims.
3. What can I do if I experience, witness, or become aware of unwelcome sexual conduct? If you experience, witness or become aware of unwelcome sexual conduct, know that 1. You have the right to tell the person to stop. The initiating and participating persons must stop the unwelcome behavior upon request. If they continue the behavior or retaliate against you because you ask them to stop, they can be found to have violated the law by engaging in sexual harassment or retaliation. 2. You have the right to report the sexual harassment. Several reporting options are available. The option you choose may depend on the nature and severity of the unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature. Persons who report sexual harassment or participate in investigations are protected from retaliation. Reporting sexual harassment, several options. The choice of how to report an allegation of sexual harassment is a personal one, and these options are not mutually exclusive. You may pursue one or more of the following reporting options. 1. Call the State of Illinois Sexual Harassment and Discrimination Helpline. 2. Report the incident to your employer. 3. File a charge with the Illinois Department of Human Rights. 4. File a charge with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Call the State of Illinois Sexual Harassment and Discrimination Helpline. If you or someone you know has experienced or witnessed unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature in the workplace, please call the State of Illinois Sexual Harassment and Discrimination Helpline for assistance. Calls are confidential and can be made anonymously. Call 1-877-236-7703. Visit www.illinois.gov/sexual-harassment. Helpline representatives can help callers navigate their numerous reporting options and share additional information related to counseling, legal assistance, and frequently asked questions. Reporting sexual harassment. Option 2. Report the incident to your employer. Reporting sexual harassment to an employer. Report the incident to one or more of the following employer representatives. 1. Your supervisor or any member of management you trust. Supervisors and members of management are responsible for knowing the employer's internal complaint investigation and resolution process. Supervisors can help effect immediate positive change. 2. Human resources officers can work with management to investigate and resolve sexual harassment complaints. This option may be preferred if the perpetrator of the sexual harassment is a supervisor or manager. 3. Designated sexual harassment reporting officers are often established by employers to specifically receive and investigate sexual harassment complaints. Consult your employer's sexual harassment policy for specific reporting contact information. Reporting sexual harassment, Option 3. File a charge with the Illinois Department of Human Rights. Reporting sexual harassment to the Illinois Department of Human Rights. The Illinois Department of Human Rights is a state agency responsible for enforcing the Illinois Human Rights Act, the state law which makes it illegal to engage in sexual harassment or retaliation. Complainants, victims of sexual harassment, may file a charge at any time within 300 days of the incidents. IDHR has jurisdiction, authority, to investigate employers who have one or more employees. To start the process, submit a complainant information sheet to IDHR. Remedies available under the Illinois Human Rights Act. After IDHR completes its investigation, the complainant, the employee, 1 may file a lawsuit in civil court, or 2 may file a complaint with the Illinois Human Rights Commission, HRC, if IDHR found substantial evidence of a violation. Complainants who prevail in the HRC or court may receive an order awarding remedies allowed by the Illinois Human Rights Act to make the complainant whole. Remedies may include back pay, lost benefits, clearing of a personnel file, damages, hiring, promotion, reinstatement, front pay where reinstatement is not possible, and attorney's fees and costs. Reporting sexual harassment to the IDHR. To file a charge, call IDHR or visit them online. 1-800-662-3942, www.illinois.gov/DHR. IDHR offices locations. Chicago. Office phone, 312-814-6200, 866-740-3953, TTY, 100 West Randolph Street, Suite 10-100, Chicago, Illinois 60601. Springfield. Office phone, 217-785-5100, 866-740-3953, TTY, 535 W. Jefferson, First Floor, Intake Unit, Springfield, Illinois 62702. Marion. Office phone, 618-993-7463, 217-740-3953, TTY, 2309 West Main Street, Marion, Illinois 62959. Reporting sexual harassment, Option 4. File a charge with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Reporting sexual harassment to the U.S. EEOC. The United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, is responsible for enforcing Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the federal law that make it illegal to engage in sexual harassment or retaliation. Complainants, victims of sexual harassment, may file a charge at any time within 300 days of the incidents. The EEOC has jurisdiction, authority, to investigate employers who have 15 or more employees. To start the process, call the EEOC or visit their website. Remedies available under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. After EEOC completes its investigation, 1. The complainant, the employee, may file a lawsuit in federal court. 2. The EEOC may help parties reach a settlement through an informal process called conciliation if the EEOC finds reasonable cause to believe discrimination occurred. Complainants who prevail in federal court may receive an order awarding remedies allowed by Title VII to make the employee whole. Remedies may include back pay, lost benefits, clearing of a personnel file, damages, hiring, promotion, reinstatement, front pay where reinstatement is not possible, punitive damages, and attorney's fees and costs. Reporting sexual harassment to the U.S. EEOC, contact information. To file a charge, call or visit online. 1-800-669-4000, www.eeoc.gov. Gov. 1-800-669-6820, TTY for deaf/hard of hearing callers only. 1-844-234-5122, ASL video phone for deaf/hard of hearing callers only. U.S. EEOC offices serving Illinois. Chicago District Office. JCK Federal Building, 230 South Dearborn Street, Chicago, Illinois 60604. St. Louis District Office. Robert A. Young Federal Building, 1222 Spruce Street, RM. 8.100, St. Louis, Missouri 63103.
Section 4. A summary of employer responsibilities in the prevention, investigation, and corrective measures of sexual harassment. 4. Is my employer responsible for sexual harassment? Yes, employers are responsible for sexual harassment in two ways. Manager/supervisor harassment. Employers are strictly liable for sexual harassment perpetrated by its members of management regardless of whether the employer knew of the harassment. Co-worker and non-employee harassment. Employers are liable for sexual harassment perpetrated by an employee, co-worker, or non-employees, vendors, only if the employer knew or reasonably should have known of the harassment and failed to take prompt corrective action. Employer responsibilities. We will now discuss employer responsibilities and liabilities concerning incidents of sexual harassment in workplaces, including their responsibilities to prevent the incidents of sexual harassment in their workplaces, investigate incidents of sexual harassment in their workplaces, and correct the incidents of sexual harassment in their workplaces. Employer responsibility, prevention. 1. Develop, implement and regularly communicate the employer's sexual harassment policy. 2. Provide training for managers and employees on sexual harassment prevention. 3. Ensure clear communication on how to report incidents of sexual harassment or conduct of a sexual nature. 4. Managers and supervisors should monitor their work environment to ensure the workplace is free of sexual harassment. Supervisors should be aware of the conduct within their supervision. 5. Managers and supervisors must lead by example and model appropriate conduct, refrain from engaging in conduct of a sexual nature. 6. Managers and supervisors should conduct a sexual harassment climate check throughout the year, discuss the topic at a team or staff meeting, in-service day or as part of structured communication such as division/unit newsletters. Employer responsibility, investigation. 1. Immediately respond to a complaint of sexual harassment and initiate an inquiry or investigation. 2. Interview the complainant, victim, and take reasonable action to protect the victim from retaliation or experiencing further sexual harassment during the investigation. 3. Interview all relevant witnesses. 4. Interview the alleged perpetrator of the sexual harassment. 5. Document the investigation results and maintain the file as an employment record. 6. Take corrective action as appropriate. Employer responsibility, corrective measures. 1. Take appropriate corrective disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment where organizational policy has been violated. 2. In situations where the conduct in question did not rise to the level of sexual harassment or a violation of policy, but is concerning or may be considered grooming behavior, consider counseling, training and closer supervision of the employee. 3. Take reasonable action within the organization to reduce the likelihood of future sexual harassment incidents by updating policies and communicating them to the workforce, providing supplemental or tailored sexual harassment training, or restructuring the working environment or reporting relationships. 4. Follow up with the complainant, victim, at regular intervals to ensure they and the workplace remains free from sexual harassment.
Completion and certification. Thank you for completing the 2020 Annual Sexual Harassment Prevention Training. Reporting sexual harassment to an employer. Contact information for City of Chicago employees, City of Chicago Department of Human Resources. Diversity and Equal Employment Opportunity Division. 121 North LaSalle Street, Room 1100. Chicago, Illinois 60602. Phone, 312-744-4224. TTY 312-744-5035. Email diversity@cityofchicago.org.